What up, people? I am back. Sorry I didn't do this video last night. I dozed off. So I'm going to do two videos today. I'm doing Bird on a Wire, that Mel Gibson movie my friend Blake recommended me. I'm going to review that later. But right now, oh my fucking god, this new Ninja Turtles. Seth Rogen. He literally spit on the Ninja Turtles. This movie, I mean, I knew it was going to be bad. But, you know that meme, our expectations were low, but holy fuck, that's what this movie is. I didn't think it was going to be I didn't think I was going to come out and it's going to be my new worst movie of 2023. It is. It might be my worst thing in general this year. Oh my god, what they do to Splinter. That whole thing going around that they made him gay isn't true. But that kind of is the least of the problems what they did with Splinter in this movie. They Jake Skywalkered him. He doesn't feel wise. He doesn't feel fucking at all he's anti-human. And his whole reasoning too for being anti-human is so fucking stupid because people because the one time he went out, people were mean to me. That's basically what his fucking reasoning was. He's a nihilist, basically. He doesn't care. He's not Splinter. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. There was no sense of, optimism or anything in him. It was insane. And I'm gonna be honest, Jackie Chan just didn't do it right. I like Jackie Chan, but part of the problem was when I was hearing him, I'm just like, okay, I want to watch a Jackie Chan movie. I don't really want to watch this shit. The Turtles were not... The humor, the fucking humor was so cringe. Because all they did was let's reference pop culture, and it was a knock. And it's not even good references. It was we're gonna say Drake and fucking Adele and reference shitty singers and so cringy. The Turtles were cringy. They weren't funny. It felt like they were trying too hard to be funny, and it just did not come off natural. And the other problem I have with this fucking movie, I got a million problems. Fucking the animation is so, it's so bad. It's ugly looking. It's hard. And I'll admit, I watched, let's just say, Paramount kind of gave me a special version of the movie. And... my god, it just, even with that, I could still tell the camera, the quality looked terrible. I don't know what they were going for with the animation. It's supposed to be, I guess, similar to Spider-Verse, but the Spider-Verse movies, relatively, the animation was consistent, even if it changed a little bit. The animation's all over the fucking place in this one. The plot basically is they have to stop Superfly, who's the original, essentially mutant ooze thing. And he puts a group together so they can put together these parts so they can basically turn everything else into mutants. Essentially, this is an origin story. I mean, not full on, but it's Turtles early on. They hadn't met April yet. What they do to April is what the fuck. I don't even know what they were going for with that. She's not the worst part of the movie, though. Granted, she looks fucking terrible. It's one thing to race swap her, but you have to make her look make her look like a beach ball? Really? Why'd you have to make her look like that? Why? But she's not even the worst part of the movie, to be honest. She really isn't. She's my least problems in the movie. The lore is spit on, Bebop and Rocksteady basically are good guys by the end of the movie, which makes no sense. They're literally one of the Turtles, in terms of villains, probably one of their more famous villains. Yeah, they're more, goons, but they still, relatively... When you think Ninja Turtles are, one of the first kind of villains besides, Shredder, right? That you think of. And, what else is bad? Fucking the story was just not that interesting. I didn't care. Splinter was not Splinter. He almost was pointless because there's a portion of the movie he's gone. Because yeah, they like after they go back to the sewer one more time, and this is where Splinter tries to throw them like a surprise party, but they leave anyway. And then yeah, he's kind of gone for like almost like good 40 minutes at least, and then he comes back and sorry about that fucking shitty person talking. Anyway, um, fucking besides that, yeah, he's kind of gone for a little bit of the movie. Um, and even then, like, there's a moment where he has to save the boys because the turtles get kidnapped by this lady. I guess she's like the secondary villain who essentially wants their blood so she can. It's so they can make enhanced things on their side for military shit. So Splinter saves them, and then he doesn't even want to save the world for the right reason because it's just because it's right. No, he wants to do it because basically so he can clean the turtles' mess. That's his words. That's one of his words. He said, "We're gonna clean your mess, and then we're gonna never go back to the sewer, and never come back up." That's basically the plan. It is like, even at this point, it's like he's not a morally good person. That is not Splinter. Splinter is supposed to see the best in people. Even as someone who, I'll say it, I've always been more of a casual fan of Ninja Turtles. You know, I was more into it as a kid. But I know Splinter's supposed to be why. And granted, they did the same shit with Optimus in the new Rise of the Beast, so they did the same thing there. It's like, take these characters who are supposed to be like optimists, and the ultimate, like, they're supposed to see the good in people and good in humanity, and it's supposed to do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do. Nope. They're all assholes. They made Optimus an asshole, and they made Splinter an asshole. I don't understand. Even in Shredder, Splinter wanted to redeem Shredder. He's literally supposed to see the best in people, and that. And his whole reason, I'm gonna say it again, he becomes fucking angry at humans because humans were mean to him once. So fucking shit. There's no positives. Like, at least Indy 5, I had that opening scene. Obviously, there's some dumb shit in that opening scene, but at least there was something there. There's nothing in this movie. I can't think of a positive at all. The fight scenes aren't that good. The final fight where fucking basically Superfly, because he gets beaten originally, but then gets overly sent, they accidentally sent the ooze to the ocean, and basically it enhances Superfly and he becomes like a kaiju, which is, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? And yeah, it was bad. The way Seth Rogen clearly, what is more frustrating for me is how much he tries to act. It's like Kevin Smith did the same shit with Masters of the Universe. They were trying to act like they're fans of, they clearly weren't. Seth Rogen just wanted to make his Ninja Turtles, and that's what this fucking is, and it's absolute shit. I hope it flops. I don't think it will, though, just because it's a kid's movie. And Jeremy Jahns is right in his review. He basically said if you actually like the Turtles and you love the lore, you're gonna fucking hate this movie. I mean, I was fucking angry at it. I mean, I had to pause a lot. Like, even very early into, like, within, like, 20 minutes, I had to pause a couple of times because how fucking stupid certain things are. The fucking humor was obnoxious. I think that's what it was. The Turtles were, like, straight up obnoxious, their humor. It wasn't funny. It was just annoying. That's not supposed to be, like, their humor. The Turtles should not feel annoying, you know? The other problem I was having with this movie is Donatello's voice. Holy shit. Why is it so fucking high pitched? It's distracting because, like, none of the other turtles' voices are relatively high pitched. And you can say, oh, they're supposed to be younger, but then even the other ones, like, I'm gonna say it again, their voices were not that high pitched. Donatello sounded like a chick at some points. I'm like, and Donatello should have more like a nerdy guy voice a little bit because he's supposed to be like kind of like the nerd of the group. And it didn't come off like that. And I was thinking that's even the other problem. He didn't feel smart. Not really. Not like Donatello should. Like, Donatello's supposed to be like the scientist of the group, essentially. He didn't feel like that at all. He didn't feel like he felt like he was trying to be cool when that's not Donatello's character ever. It's so, like, they clearly, Seth Rogen did not know what Ninja Turtles are, and I just feel like he just took it just as so he can make it his. That's what a lot of these fucking hacks do. Seth Rogen's always been a hack. I mean, He's always been carried by better people. Like, think about it. Super bad. He wasn't even like the funny cop in that one. It was fucking Bill Hader. Um, this is the end. The other actors in that movie carried that movie. Pineapple Express, James Franco carried him. He's always been carried by better people. And I guess, and it just continues here. You can't, now the fact that they gave him Ninja, I'm still angry about that. Like, why? Just so you can make this shit. Oh, fuck. Anyway. I give this like a 2 out of 10. It's like, yeah. Anyway. Later, Bird on a Wire review. But, yeah, we're going to get into this review. Or rant, because it's not a review. This movie, fuck this movie. This is, it's more of just Hollywood taking things they clearly don't know. And just, instead of, Ninja Turtles should be easy. Just do, even like that 2007 Ninja Turtles movie did it right. Fuck. Even the Bay films, obviously those movies aren't good, because to me they just felt like an extension of the Bay Formers movies. At least the one thing they got right, Splinter. Splinter was Splinter in that. He felt wise and he actually felt like a leader. Fucking Splinter in this doesn't. In the Turtle, I'll even say, I didn't like the look of the Turtles, but they got the riffing between the Turtles right, or decently enough. Whereas in this, like I said, the banter between the Turtles is cringe. It's like Marvel shit. Constantly with pop culture rep. That's not Ninja Turtles. And then I think they laid it on thick with like the pizza jokes too. It was like, it's like let's just take they like pizza and let's just spam that joke. They even do a Go Ninja Go scene, like where the first scene they see April, and they have to go get her bike back from like this gang who stole it from her. There's like, it was either Michelangelo or Donatello jump in a car, and then I guess they try, because I guess he's trying to drive and he presses a button, and it Go Ninja Go starts playing, and it's like, oh, are you fucking kidding me with that member berry? That was obviously there just so you can have a member berry, and it was so cringy. Ugh. Okay. Anyways, let's get into it. Anyway. We basically get our one shot of Baxter Stockman, and they make him look like this really, even though he's supposed to be like a leader of a corporation. And he's like in one scene, and you don't even, no, I guess two, because there's a scene where Superfly kind of goes into his backstory. But Baxter doesn't even feel like a character in the movie. He's just there just because he's supposed to set up the origin of how the ooze happens. So this army, like, strike team breaks in, they're trying to get the ooze. And this is where we get our first shot of Superfly. You don't see him, but you see Superfly beating them up. He escapes. And then you see the guys take the goo and everything while Baxter's gone. Ends up kicking. One of them kicks the goo inside the sewer, and this is where we get a time jump. The turtles are born, and this opening scene just immediately, like, the banter just was not natural. It felt forced. The turtle humor should always feel like natural. Like, it should feel like brothers. That's like kind of where the humor really comes from with the turtles, is their dynamic with each other. And it just was not good. It was very Marvel, like, constant references, like the Drake reference. I was done. I was like, really? Are you really referencing fucking Drake? Are you kidding me? So they have to go get like stuff for groceries, and so they get that, and then they go pass by like a I guess it's like a drive-in theater thing where they're playing Ferris Bueller. That's the most weird movie to pick that they were watching. I'll admit the one positive, I like that it was like actually like the movie while everything else was animated. I hated the animation. It was ugly. It's very ugly, and you know what else I think it doesn't help? The designs. So it's like bad design mixed with bad animation, and it makes for just shit. The turtles look like shit. I feel like all their like body weights look different. Like the only one that somewhat had like a decent look was Raph, besides his mask, mainly because he's actually kind of built what the turtles should look like. They should be kind of jacked. Obviously, not as ridiculous as they looked in the Bay ones, but they should kind of look yoked. And also, they should all have like the same kind of build. And it's so like Michelangelo's really, and Donatello, they're like really skinny. Leonardo's like in the middle. It's like they all should kind of look like Raph, like be built like Raph. They should have that same kind of build. It makes no sense. Why they're all like different? Like what the fuck? I guess they're trying to make them individual looking, but it just is weird. They're all supposed to kind of look the same, just with different, obviously, masks. You know, it's So they go back, and this is where we get this Splinter. And oh my god, Splinter just from the fucking jump, he's a douche. He doesn't come off like a wise teacher. He's supposed to be like fucking Mr. Miyagi. He's supposed to have like that like mentality, and he didn't. There's not one moment in this movie did he feel wise or like he felt like a leader. No, he was just a bitchy dad who was like, you gotta follow my rules, kind of thing. That's like what they were going for. And I get he technically is their dad, but it should not feel like that. He should also feel like their teacher, and he didn't feel like their teacher. There's not even really a moment you see them. I mean, in a montage, you kind of see him teaching them, and even the way he learns martial arts, I don't even like it in this one because this version, he just happened to go underground, and he saw the turtles, and they all basically got the ooze, and then so basically they go. So Splinter's hate for humans basically comes from because humans were mean to him once. Because also, even before that, because like because humans don't like rats. Sorry, that's just the fucking reality. Should we like rats now? It was like it felt like commentary, not even like just humans naturally don't like rats. Obviously, we fucking don't. But it's like, no, it's almost bad to not like, to hate rat. I don't know what they were trying to tell us with that. It was weird. And then, so Splinter took him up one time, and basically everybody was mean to him. So, because of that, that's why he hates humans, even though he's supposed to see the best in people. And the reason, and people try to defend it with, oh, Splinter was always, hesitant about the turtles going above. Mainly because he didn't feel like they were ready. It was more like they weren't ready thing. And his obviously, he was a bit overprotective, but it was for that. Not because he fucking hated humans. And he wasn't calling humans, fuck, most versions, he started off as a human. I think that's a better origin. I prefer that to me. Yeah, there are some where they all just happen to he was a rat, he just gets mutated. I prefer that one where he's actually human first. I think it makes for a better story. And it also makes him wiser because he's had actual experience. In this, he just happens to become Master Splinter because he watched a couple karate videos. That's basically what the movie was trying to tell you. And it was obviously done because there's one of the videos you see, it's like Jackie Chan. So it was like a little Easter egg. And it's like, did you really have to do that? So that's where his hatred for humans comes from. And the whole joke is, they're going to milk you. And what ends up happening, they milk you. Oh, how brilliant, Seth. Go fuck yourself, you fucking uncreative hack. Anyway. So the turtles are all depressed. And then, so basically they're all, because I guess, fucking Splitter basically bans them from going to the surface for a month. And I guess a month happened. It's such a weird, jarring turn because it could easily be like the next day. But basically, the turtles are above world the next scene. So it's like, wait, I thought they were grounded. So I guess we're a month later now. They're testing their weapons and filming themselves. And this is where April comes into the movie. And it makes, why did they race swap? If you're going to do all this, at least, she doesn't even feel like April. Besides, like, we got to ham fist, she wants to be a journalist. because April's supposed to be a reporter. She's basically like Lois Lane in that sense, and it makes no sense to race swap her and do all this shit because she could easily. She felt like another character. Like easily take the name April out of the movie and swap some other fucking random female name in, and it could easily be a different character. She did not feel like April at all. Even doesn't even have like April's mannerisms. It was. I'll admit she's not the worst part of the movie. Like she really isn't. Like she's definitely on. I'm not gonna say she was good or anything like that because I still don't like her design, but she's not the worst part of the movie. So she accidentally gets hit by the ninja star because she has like a helmet on her head and starts yelling at the turtles. And while this happens, Guy steals her moped. The turtles try to get it back, and this is where we get an action scene, which is the action in this movie just did not do it for me. I'm just like, all right, next. Like it's just like when your action is boring or not fucking captivating, you don't do it right. And this is where I was telling you, you got the Go Ninja Go fucking moment, which was so cringy. That's such a forced, like, member berry. Oh, guys, remember this from a better movie? I hate when bad movies do that shit. Oh, we're gonna reference a good movie that I'd actually rather be watching. Sorry about that. But yeah, like, the humor was so obnoxious. Like the turtles it also didn't feel natural. Their banter, and that's when it's shit because they're supposed to be brothers. So like brothers naturally banter. And this doesn't feel natural. It also is the humor is very forced. Like they're trying too hard to be funny. Donatello isn't Donatello. His voice, oh my god. The amount of times I had to point out while I was watching, like, why is he so high pitched? Like he does sound like a girl at times. It's like, what did they do? Why did they do that? Like, why did they make him so young when I get it, they're all supposed to be teens, but the other voices are not that high pitched. And even at 16, your voice should not, at least if you're a boy, should not be that high pitched. Like, what the fuck? Sorry about that. Anyway. Fucking so this is where we first learn of Superfly and his whole plan. I'm just gonna go into it. He basically is getting parts so he can build this machine with the ooze to basically turn every other animal into mutants so they could take over. Even though he's trying to make it like, oh, I just want equality for mutants. And Superfly could have been a good villain if they didn't just... They should have just made him a bad guy, like, who just... Because I want to control. Not because I hate humans. That was, like, such a weird thing. Because they were supposed to... They're doing a ham-fisted parallel between him and Splinter, and it did not fucking work. Obviously, real Splinter should not be compared to Superfly, but this version of Splinter, that's dog shit. So, the Turtles act like they're joining along with, Superfly and his people, and this is where Bebop and Rocksteady, even when they were supposed to be bad guys, they did not feel like bad guys at all. Like, it was so weird. It was like, Seth Rogen is like, I don't want to play a bad guy, so I'm going to just turn Bebop and Rocksteady good. I think that's why he did it. He didn't want to broad himself as a villain. Because Bebop and Rocksteady are supposed to be villains. They're like, they're more, I would probably say after Shredder, the second most famous villain within the Turtles that when you think villains of Ninja Turtles, like off the top of your head, they're going to be the ones second ones at least after Shredder you're going to think of. So it's like, why? I mean, obviously I know why. It's like I just said it. They want Seth Rogen. For some fucking reason, didn't want to play a bad guy. He's like, I have to be a good guy. So we're going to have him start off as a bad guy, and then basically he redeems himself, even though he's supposed to be a villain. Bebop and Rocksteady are villains. They're not like big main bad guys. They're like they're kind of goons a lot of times for Shredder or other, villains, but they're villains. They're not supposed to be good. It's so shitty. Of that group, I didn't mind the stoner. I mean, obviously, they don't say he is, but he's like a lizard, and he's like, the way he talks, like he clearly is a stoner. It's like, yeah, bruh. Like he had that kind of voice, and it was like he wasn't annoying. The salamander gecko guy, Then there's like a flying like there's a crocodile that's like clearly like an Aussie chick. They're all random mutants. So the turtles try to cause like a big chase so they can steal the part away, but Superfly ends up getting the part back and causes the truck to crash. Then the I'm gonna say blue haired lady who has her design, like what the fuck is her face? That like it's like boxed in. It's a weird like they really like the designs are ugly. So it's not even just like the animation is really bad. Which, by the way, the problem with the animation I have is like there's moments it's supposed to be like 3D, but then there's like when there's you see Smoke, it's hand drawn, and people will see that, oh, that's cool. For me, it's distracting. Then there are moments it looks like fucking a stop motion film. It's so all over the place, animation wise. And I get people can say, oh, Spider Verse did that, but Spider Verse it looked good and it actually looked natural. This was so like inconsistent, and it's just ugly to look at. Like, obviously, the Flash was more because of the bad CGI, but it kind of gave me that kind of vibes in the sense of it's hard to look at, just at times. I'm like, my God, this animation's so all over the fucking place. And it's just the ugly designs don't help either. So the lady takes the turtles basically once their blood, and they're supposed to, oh guys, the one time they go outside they get milk. That's supposed to be the joke. So fucking shit. April goes to Splinter because she went with them back to the sewers, so she remembers the way. Then they go back to get the turtles. And this is what bothered me about this whole scene. He comes back, and we see him do some action. Of course, there are going to be people acting like, oh, the action was cool. It wasn't for me. I'm going to be honest. I didn't feel like, one, Splinter doesn't even really feel like part of the story, like, at all. Besides, he was a bit in the beginning, and then they go back to the sewer before they go back out to meet with Superfly. They go back to the turtles, go back to the sewer. and Splinter tries to throw them like a party and they leave. That was supposed to be, but he doesn't feel like he's even part of the story. Once again, he then tells the turtles after beating everybody up that, oh, we're gonna clean your mess. So it's not even like he wants to stop Superfly for any actual, because it's the right thing. No, it's just because, oh, we gotta clean your mess. And that's it. So he's not even a good guy. He's not even doing it out. That's what Splinter should be. He's supposed to be kind, wise. Why would he hate humans if he was a human before? To the point, yeah, it was like literally like you replace human with black. It was like it might as well be like a fucking KKK. That's how much he hated humans. It was that kind of shit. It was like, what the fuck, bro? It was like clearly like I don't like people either, but I'm not gonna write people as all assholes, and that's what he did in this world. Really, besides April and the ham-fisted attempt in the end to have people realize turtles aren't bad, it does. The humans are all shit. Like, if we're gonna be real, like most of the movie, humans are all shit. It's so weird. Like Seth, to be fair, he was involved in that dog shit Santa Inc. thing, which I felt like had that same kind of deal. So it's like he clearly just there's something up. Like he has a fucked up morality. I think that's what this feels like to me. It's just throwing it in this movie and throwing it on Splinter because Splinter is not supposed to be that. Like, they really Jake Skywalker his character. He's not supposed to be this nihilist. He literally wants to see even tries to see the best in fucking Shredder and tries to redeem him. I mean, obviously it probably doesn't end up working, but he tries to redeem him still. Because that's the kind of character he's supposed to be. Even I, as a Ninja Turtles casual these days, I was probably way more into it when I was younger, but even I know that. I still know that. That's what he's supposed to be. It's so fucking annoying, man. What they do is they shit on Splinter. They take an absolute dog, like, they on his character, man. It was, bro. It might be worth. I mean, I hate what they did with Optimus in Rise of the Beast, but even Optimus, at least there was a scene. He had a moment of being Optimus. Splinter, they ruined him, and there's not even a moment where he actually feels like Splinter. And none of the action scenes even fixed it. There are people out there who saying he was funny. I didn't find him funny. I just found him like, and granted, as far as it could just because I know the lore a little bit, and just seeing that ruined just made it not funny. It was, yeah, they nuked Splinter. Like I had to go on this tangent about Splinter because it, like, bro, if you love that character, if Splinter is one of your favorite, I'm gonna say it. Jeremy Jahns is right. If you really love the lore, you're gonna fucking despise this movie. Even as a casual like me, I despise this. I mean, it's just a bad movie too, but it, yeah. Why didn't you just do The Last Ronin? Or even like the 2007 Ninja Turtles movie is way better than this. At least the characters felt like the characters. I felt like even the Turtles just were not the Turtles. Raphael was probably the closest to somewhat being like Raphael, but it was a dog shit Raphael still. It just, none of it was there. The Turtles didn't have chemistry even, and I get it's voice acting, but none of them, it didn't feel like they gelled together at all. And what they do, man, the fucking Splinter's crime, what they did with him. Anyway, so they break out the Turtles. Splinter goes to confront, leaving April, they try to confront Superfly and his mutants. And basically the Turtles try to convince the mutants to leave Superfly and tell. This is where they're trying to do the ham-fisted attempt at, oh, they're good and bad people. Like, are you fucking kidding me, movie? We're really trying to do this now? It makes no sense. Like, and they fall for it, and basically the mutants all decide, yeah, and they even invite, like, the mutants to stay with them at the sewer for some reason. Okay. Alright. It's so weird seeing the Turtles all, like, chummy with the fucking Bebop and Rocksteady. It's fucking weird. Unless something happens and they go bad later again, but then it's like, why do this? Why even have them be good? If you're just gonna turn them again, and have them be bad the whole fucking time. That's because they're bad. They're bad guys. Man. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Ninja Turtles is not rocket science, guys. Just get some good four actors who can, even voice acting, can have like a good banter between the group. Because that's what the Turtles do. They banter with each other. And not like constant pop culture references and referencing like Drake and Adele. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And the soundtrack was annoying. Like, it was another one of those soundtracks. It felt like it was trying to be hip with the kids. Let's just play a bunch of rap. They even play a Shimmy Shimmy Up from Wu-Tang. I like that song. Doesn't belong in Ninja Turtles. It just, what are we doing? They play a lot of like pop shit too. I hated the soundtrack. It was the epitome of, let's just play a bunch of modern music so we could try to get that's what it felt like they were really trying to get. They're trying to get that uber like, current day like Gen Z crowd. And I think maybe they'll fall for it. If you're not into the Turtles, I could see maybe it somewhat liking the movie, but yeah. So they all end up convinced, but they all attack Superfly, and Superfly tries to plead with Splinter, and that's where they try to force the parallel, like, because they even had like a scene where Splinter's like, "You're gonna learn my way," kind of thing, and it's like, are you fuck off? That's like when you have Splinter written to where he's parallel with the fucking villain, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it fucking wrong. That's not how. This movie was so aggravating, man. You're doing it fucking wrong. Splinter should not be parallel with any villain. He shouldn't at fucking all. Or they did that. So Splinter helps them. They seemingly defeat Superfly, but then they accidentally, the ooze gets sent to the ocean, and this is where Superfly like merges like a bunch of other animals. including a whale, so he becomes basically like not Godzilla size, but yeah, like almost kaiju size. And they just did that so they could make a bunch of Godzilla jokes, which fine. That actually did bother me. And this is where April, as the news lady originally, is trying to make it seem like the turtles are bad and everyone is turning on the mutants. But then April like changes their image and it's so bad. It's like basically besides the ham-fisted end, they really are trying to make like all the humans are shit, really. There's not really a likable human character that's genuinely good because they're a good person. Besides April. Like she's like the only one. And so the turtles basically are almost killed and Splinter gets knocked down because he has to try to give him this blue thing because that's Donatello thinks of a way they can stop I guess Kaiju Superfly I'll call him. And he thinks of this using this thing that would basically reverse the effects, right? And yeah, so Splinter gets knocked over, and then a human helps him because they had just seen the report that April's doing, and they even do a joke because April started the movie. They go to the high school, and she I guess gets I don't remember the name, April Puke or some shit. I want to forget this movie. After today, I am definitely I'm gonna put this like I had never watched it. Like yeah, like I'm a fucking Men in Black neuralizer. I neuralize myself memory of this movie. So yeah, so she did her initial like she did like some school announcement. She puked, and she pukes again, and it's like that was supposed to be funny. It's just gross to me. That kind of shit's not funny. That's just out of my okay. She just puked. Okay. But then she still did the report, said the turtles are good, so the people start liking the turtles. It was so forced. It was supposed to be like a moment Splinter realized he's wrong, but it's like he shouldn't have to have that moment. It's like with Optimus. They already should not necessarily like humans, but they're doing it because we have to protect humanity because that's the right thing to do. That's it. That's all it needs to be because it's the right thing to fucking do. So the humans help them get Splinter, and the turtles get the antidote into fucking Kaiju Superfly, and he gets defeated. The people like all start cheering. The film ends basically the turtles going to school while Bebop and Rocksteady and the other mutants all live there now, which is like, what the fuck? Why are they good guys? If Seth Rogen was such a fan, he would alright, I'm voicing Rocksteady. Okay, we gotta be bad guys. He's a bad guy character. I feel like he didn't want to be a bad guy. That's what it felt like to me. Like, it really reeks of, I don't want to write myself as a villain. So, even though Bebop and Rocksteady are not, like, supposed to be, like, main villains, they're kind of, like, the heavy for a bigger villain, usually. Like, sometimes Shredder, another, big bad within the Ninja Turtle world. And it's weird that, no, we're not even going to do that. We're going to have them just be good guys. And it's like they weren't really even villains when they were quote-unquote villains in the movie. It was Superfly was like the only real villain. And I almost say Splinter because of the way he's fucking written. And they set up this relationship with him and this slug creature thing, which I guess one of the posters that the thing is himself. So I wonder if they're backtracking because they saw that get out. Like, okay, no. Because they do say she and her. Splinter calls it even if that's not even that's like the least problem of the movie. Splinter got fucking shit on as a character. Fundamentally, he got Jake Skywalker. He's Jake Splinter. That's what this Splinter in this fucking movie is. And I love Jackie Chan, but he shouldn't have been the voice. The more I think about it, yeah, he should not have been the voice of the character. All I was hearing was Jackie Chan, and at times, all it really just made me want to do, I just want to watch Jackie Chan movies now. I want to watch better movies. This is not a good movie. It's bad. The story, I would say, if a better competent writer, maybe it could work. Granted, I wouldn't have did Young Turtles, though. If you were going to do Younger Turtles, have April maybe be college age. She didn't have to be in high school. You could have made her like college age. Maybe she's a bit older than the Turtles. Who cares? But also make her look like the character. Make a traditional Ninja Turtles thing. Fuck it. Gasp. Just do that. That'll make money. The animation is ugly. It's fucking shitty to look at, and also it doesn't help you out. The designs are terrible. So when the designs, like Splinter looks awful. I think all the designs look terrible. Yeah, I was gonna think maybe Superfly, but he didn't really look that. He didn't look horrible. I guess he's the least bad of the design, but everyone else. Bebop and Rocksteady, I thought looked kind of shitty. The animation was shitty, so it was mixed with shitty animation and shitty bad design. It doesn't work. It just makes for a really ugly movie. And the characters were bad. The lore was bad. The comedy was painful. It was painfully trying to be funny, and it was like, stop trying to be funny. The turtles don't feel natural with their banter. Donatello wasn't Donatello. He didn't feel intelligent, really. Even like the thing with the antidote, he had to kind of get pushed into it by Leonardo. It wasn't even like a natural, like he did that. He would have figured that one on his own. That, okay, no, we'll try to get this antidote. No. They didn't do that. It was so, literally, Seth Rogen is not a fan. And just saw this, so like, I can just do what the fuck I want with it. And I think that's what a lot of these fucking people take these IPs for, and it's sad, because Ninja Turtles with a competent creator could be really fucking easy to make. It's one of those, I do think it could be a slam dunk if you just did it right. And they didn't. Splinter doesn't hate humans. He's not supposed to be a nihilist, and that's what you made him. Because we gotta keep doing the Hollywood nihilism. That just has to be everywhere now. You know, there's times that could work. I'm not like, fully against that being in stuff. It should be in shit that when it makes sense, not here. Ninja Turtles should not be nihilistic. Sorry, that's like one of those. It should be kind of like there are darker Ninja Turtles where like that first movie's kind of dark. You know, there are still jokes, but it's a dark kind of movie. Not dark, but there are definitely darker themes. The 03 show, relatively, was a bit more of a serious show. There was humor in it, but it definitely didn't mind going dark when it had to. You could have had a balance like that. Even the 07 movie had like a darker element a little bit with at least Raph's character when he becomes like a vigilante. So it's like you could have did that. Not saying you could have did that. You could have done that whole plotting. But you could have had a tone like that. But no, you went with this. The tone is like, it's not even lighthearted. It's bad humor tone. That's what I'm going to call it. The pain, the constant pop culture shit really was killing me. Because it was like, they're not supposed to be like Deadpool, breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, this movie is terrible. If you love Ninja Turtles, I'd avoid this like the plague unless you're like reviewing it or something. Because, yeah. At least it's an hour and a half, but it is like the longest hour and a half ever. I had to pause it a couple fucking times because I was like, oh my god, this is so, like, I was pissed. Indy 5 was more depressing than, like, angry. There was moments I got angry at that, but I was angry the whole time. Fuck Seth Rogen, man. It sucks that unfortunately he got the rights, because Ninja Turtles should be easy. And unfortunately, I think this will do decent because it's animated. There's really nothing else out, and apparently everyone likes it for the most part. I don't know why. I think we're in this. Some people are just overly positive on shit because I don't see how, if even like a casual, how the fuck can you like this movie? It's not funny. The character destruction of multiple characters, but really, Splinter is the biggest one. The humor alone is painful. Like, it is like darts. It was so painful. Like, it was trying so hard to be funny, and it just wasn't. Fucking, the soundtrack was painfully trying to be hip. That's why I think they had to do the constant pop culture references. It felt like they were trying to get, like, the current gen. It's like, oh, let's reference all these current musicians and play all this current music so we can try to be hip with the kids. That's what it felt like to me. Ninja Turtle should not feel like that, and that's what it was. So, this is a 2. I have 0 positives for this movie. That's why this is the worst, probably worst thing of 2023, like, including, like, getting past movies. It's definitely the worst movie. Indy 5 is definitely a worse character destruction just because Indy was destroyed in that movie. But this was close. But I think in general, it's the worst movie. 'Cause at least I can find one scene in 85. I have zero in this. There's no positives. There's fucking nothing. I didn't think this was gonna be that bad. I had a feeling I mean, I knew it was gonna be shit, but I thought maybe it would maybe like fourth place level shit. No, I didn't think it was gonna become the top. I didn't think after this I'm like, yeah, this is number one. This beats Indy 5. It beats Indy 5. It beats The Flash. Because The Flash, at least there's a couple Ben Affleck scenes. Keaton wasn't fully ruined. There's at least some stuff in there. There's nothing here. I'm never gonna watch this again. I am gonna like neuralize the memory out of my head of watching this dog shit movie. Fuck you, Seth Rogen. I don't understand how you still get a fucking job. I mean, I kind of do, but you still shouldn't have a job. You're a fucking hack. You've always been carried. Fuck you. Anyway, later, I'm going to be reviewing Bird on a Wire. At least talk about something positive. And then tomorrow, we're going to be doing Extraction 2, which I cannot wait. Extraction 2 that is one of my favorites this year. So at least now I'm going to be talking about something good for the next few days. So anyway, all right, y'all. Fuck this movie. This movie pissed me off. All right, y'all. Like, it's just so aggravating because Ninja Turtles, I'm gonna say it again, like, should be a slam dunk. It's one of those IPs. Like, there's even, it's already written for, because there's comics. So it's like, it's already written, or there's already like the other animated series that you could have followed and maybe make that into a movie and make a longer version. I wouldn't have minded that. You take one of the stories from whatever series and just make that into a movie. You could have did it, but no, you had to make this dog shit. Anyway. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.